Everywhere I went, I found leaders who were determined to prevent the conflict that we're facing now from spreading, doing everything possible to deter escalation, to prevent a widening of the conflict. The future of the region needs to be one of integration, not division and not conflict. And fourth, for that to happen, we need to see the establishment of an independent Palestinian state. Now, no one I talk to thinks any of this will be easy. All recognize the hurdles, and no one thinks that anything will happen overnight. But we agreed to work together. I also found across the board that the countries we visited, the leaders we spent time with, are prepared to make the necessary commitments, to make the hard decisions, to advance all of these objectives, to advance this vision for the region. We're heading now to Israel, where I'll have an opportunity to share with Israeli leaders everything I've heard thus far on this trip, and also to talk to them about the future direction of their military campaign in Gaza. I will press on the absolute imperative to do more to protect civilians and to do more to make sure that humanitarian assistance is getting into the hands of those who need it. We'll also, of course, focus on our relentless efforts to bring back the hostages, Americans, Israelis, and others. And we'll talk about how we see the future for the region and for Israel. And I'm convinced that there is a future path that can actually bring lasting peace and security for Israel, that can ensure that October 7th never happens again, and that can bring the region together, that can meet the aspirations of the Palestinian people, and do it in a way that makes this a region focused on the future, not on the challenges of the past. Well, first, Ian, with regard to Lebanon, it's clearly not in the interest of anyone, Israel, Lebanon, Hezbollah, for that matter, to see this escalate and to see an actual conflict. And the Israelis have been very clear with us that they want to find a diplomatic way forward that creates the kind of security that allows Israelis to return home. The international community as a whole faces a challenge. These attacks, consistent attacks by the Houthis on international shipping, are a threat to everyone. We talked about this yesterday. You've got about 15% of the world's commerce every day going through that strait, going through the Red Sea. And these attacks are having a real effect on the prices that people have to pay for food, for medicine, for energy. Ships have to get diverted to other places, insurance rates go up, and the basic principle of freedom of navigation is what's at stake. So the international community has a real stake in upholding that principle. As I said, we've had 40 countries come together to make clear that what the Houthis are doing has to stop. And we have other countries that have made clear that if it continues, there have to be consequences. So our strong view, our strong preference is that the Houthis get the message that they're receiving from countries around the world that this needs to stop, and that's what we're focused on. So, second part of the question first. What I found on virtually every stop was a willingness of all of the countries involved to do important things to help Gaza stabilize and revitalize. And I heard that in every place. And one of the things that we're going to be working on together is just what that would require and just what countries specifically are prepared to do. The interest is there, it's real, and it could be transformative.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.